Greetings, you mighty champions. I'm Pastor Glen, and I want you to know that your persistence will wear down Satan's resistance. Praise God. You know, as the time approached for Jesus to be taken up into heaven, he first had to go to the cross, go to hell, be tormented, conquer the devil, be resurrected. But from the time he knew that he was going to be taken up into heaven, he purposely determined and unwaveringly, if I can say it that way, set his face towards his project. He was focused. Praise God. The Message Bible says he gathered up his courage and steeled himself. Okay? And so I want you to be the strongest Christian that history has ever seen. It's time for us. It is our time. What used to trip you up, what used to be a stumbling block, I want it just to be a stepping stone for you. Don't be moved by those lousy circumstances. God will work with you. He will confirm his word to you with signs following. The sign that follows your study on healing will heal you. The sign that studies you're talking about prosperity will prosper you. The sign that will follow you talking about favor will give you favor. I want to do something different. I want to tell you about a movie, okay? In 2010, a book came out called Unbroken, and in 2014, the movie came out. I saw the movie, okay? It was amazing. And so it's about the incredible life of a USC track star, an Olympian actually, that was in World War II. He was a hero. Lewis Zamperini, I want to say Zamperman, but I don't know his last name. Zamperini, I think it is. Lewis Zamperini. And it's a moving story about the struggle and the perseverance and the resilience of the human spirit. And we need to feed on things like that to give us courage day by day. In 2015, the Rose Parade in Pasadena, California was so inspired by the story that Lewis was honored as being the Grand Marshal, and a float was made to show some of the events in his life. Now, he died before the parade. He was 97, but it still showed him, he still honored him as being the Grand Marshal. Okay? His story was in World War II, along with two other crewmen. He was a bombardier in a B-24 bomber. It crashed in the South Pacific. And so he survived in a raft for 47 days until he was captured by the Japanese Navy and sent to several prisoner of war camps. Now, if you know anything about the cruelty of the Japanese in World War II, most of the soldiers, whether they were American or Philippine, they had lost, if they weren't murdered or if they didn't starve to death, they lost about 30% of their body weight. That was like an average, okay? And so starvation and beating and hardship, he endured all that stuff, Lewis did. And he overcame what most guys would just want to kill themselves. And so when he was liberated in 1945, he was starving, he was sick, he had malaria, he weighed 75 pounds. And so if the Americans and the Philippine soldiers that were in captivity were too weak to make roads and runways and stuff to help kill other Americans, they were either bayoneted, shot right there, or stayed in the concentration camp and starved to death. And so from the very beginning of his ordeal, he set his face steadfastly to live and not die, okay? He was resolutely set out to live and go back to his family. He had a purpose. Lewis Zamperini, I think I'm saying his name right, said this. He said, "You have to have confidence in yourself and believe that no matter what you're faced, you can deal with it." And I'm going to say you and God. You can't just give up. I could have taken the beatings and the physical punishment, but it was the attempt to destroy my dignity, to make me a non-entity, that was the hardest thing to bear. Okay? So he survived. And so today I want you to face with an iron will life. I want you to be a winner. God is with you. God is for you. God is your defense. God will help you create something better. I'm Pastor Glen Curry, and I speak the blessing of God to you. Please like and subscribe below. Know that your persistence wears down Satan's resistance. Win in life through Jesus Christ.